Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. We discuss a lot of things out of the beautiful world of decentralization, most of all, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, a lot of Bitcoin, altcoins, decentralized finance, and all the other beautiful parts that kind of make this decentralized universe spin. And today I want to discuss mother of all coins weaknesses. I want to discuss Bitcoin's weaknesses and what they might mean and how relevant and how important these weaknesses actually are and what they potentially mean for the chain. So yeah, let's kind of dive in a bit. I've prepared a screen share that I want to show you, and we kind of walk this through because I think it's really relevant to have some kind of graphical idea about this. So I'm going to go into the screen share and I'm going to have a look here. And it's basically here called innovations in Bitcoin. But at the end, the reason we need innovations there is because these are weaknesses. And I think that's very, very clear, and that's really important. So let's kind of look through all those weaknesses, if you want to call them, and look how they're being kind of tackled. I think one of the weaknesses here is what you can see here on the very right side, which is basically the mining side. Bitcoin has this major criticism of, wasting a lot of energy. But if you kind of drill down, then you realize all this energy is being used to stabilize and to make it very, very difficult to double spend. It secures the network. And so on the one hand, I think maybe 20 years in the future, we have some different mining algorithm or staking or whatever. We have some different consensus algorithm. But even right now, we have, first of all, a lot of green energy. And I think a lot of mining companies are working on better algorithms, on being more efficient. But one thing to kind of be aware of, once we become more efficient, it just means that it's easier to have more hash rate. So just kind of understand that in the whole kind of scale of thing, even if you kind of have some meaningful usage for all these mining calculations, it would just increase the hash rate. So keep that in mind. So that's kind of the wastefulness of Bitcoin, if you want to call it. I think a second big criticism that Bitcoin has is actually its privacy. And that might surprise you a little bit because you might say, hey, what do you mean privacy? I thought Bitcoin is like super private, but it's actually not. It's pseudonymous, right? It's very easy to kind of track down the owners of an account or of an address, and it's very easy to kind of track where Bitcoins go. And so there are teams in the entire system who try to make Bitcoin way more private. And the reason this is relevant is because if you are, don't tell me this thing kind of shut down. No, it just said error because I've had some problems with OBS. If you are investing into other projects or you're kind of considering, keep in mind that, just like on altcoins, people are also working on Bitcoin in these entire systems. So just keep this in mind. We have things like CoinJoin, we have Tenderline, we have confidential transactions, CoinSwap. So these are all things that are being worked on right now. So keep this in mind. At the moment, yes, I think there needs to be some privacy improvement in Bitcoin, but I think there's work being done on that. Let's go to another one, and that's basically sidechains. That's also one where we at the DeFi Foundation are working on. The DeFi chain is becoming a side chain here with Bitcoin. And the great thing here is that we have completely new possibilities doing that. You can have completely new rules. So people who criticize that Bitcoin is very tied down, it doesn't allow for a lot of things. Well, actually, you could do a lot of things here with those side chains. I think that's quite powerful. Odeono writes, what about the price? It's skyrocketing. Yeah, but it doesn't have much to do with fundamentals. That's really a lot of emotions right now, especially with the attacks in Iran. Bitcoin turns out to be some kind of safe haven. Obviously, I don't believe that we don't have Bitcoin as a safe haven when we look at the liquidity crisis, but I think at the moment it works quite well here. Then the next thing is pretty much scalability, which comes to layer 2. So here we have functionality in those sidechains, and now we go to layer 2, and that's scalability. Now, a lot of blockchains kind of advertise that they have so much scalability on its base layer. Now, the question here is, what do you actually want on the base layer? And there's only one reason you want a blockchain or a truly decentralized system, and that's for decentralization, for censorship resistance. So that's what you really have to solve for here on the base layer. With that comes a lot of criticism. So it comes that you cannot scale properly, for example. And so what you would have to do, and obviously this is stuff that's not there yet, right? This is stuff that has to be developed, is layer 2. For example, Lightning. We have Omni, but Omni hasn't been that popular anymore. Pretty much like color coins. So that's how you can run different kind of coins on top of Bitcoin. Tether, for example, used that, but they kind of switched away to Ethereum. And then you can also use data anchors. This is also something that, for example, we use at the DeFi chain. So we are a side chain. We constantly anchor onto Bitcoin network, especially for increasing security. So this is a really, really key feature here. Now the point I'm bringing all these things up is just to understand there's weaknesses that Bitcoin has right now. Yes, privacy is a weakness, wastefulness of electricity is a weakness, scalability is a weakness, functionality is a weakness, and these are all things that projects are working on. I want to point this out simply because I don't believe people are actually investing into Bitcoin because of these things hopefully coming. I think in altcoins, many people, even though pretty much the level is very similar actually, people are investing into those altcoins with the pure hope that these things are actually already there. So that's just a little bit of a challenge that I see in a lot of people speculating or investing. And I kind of want to highlight those criticisms. So yes, I criticize Bitcoin for not having the best privacy, but obviously I hold it because I'm okay with the status quo and maybe it's going to get better. Wastefulness, same story. Functionality, same story. Scalability, same story. And I don't own 100% of my crypto in Bitcoin, maybe 90%, a majority. I think that's fine. And I'll have to gamble a bit with some smaller coins. So that's just a bit on the side note. And now let's get to the last part, and that's actually obviously performance and usability. A lot of that, in my opinion, also falls under layer 2, scalability, but then you have a lot of performance and usability, especially when it comes to the node software. Especially early is part of this. Now Schnorr, I would probably even put down to privacy, but I understand with Schnorr we have way smaller signatures, so you could kind of keep all this here. And these are all things, BTC Pay, that just help with the usability side. And obviously with this, we also need points of acceptance. And I think that's just gonna come along the way. And I think it needs layer 2 for this as well to help with the fees in the transactions. And then the last one, I think that's a main criticism, especially from Ethereum people, where they're like, you know what, there's no smart contract capability. And you have to be really careful if you actually criticize Bitcoin for that, because like there's projects like Rootstock that offer Turing Complete. We at DeFi Chain, we actually don't offer Turing Complete, but we also offer smart contract capability. And these are all things, and there's many other protocols, many other technical kind of capabilities that you can do here that allow for all these things. And so I just want to kind of highlight that to keep that in mind, to kind of understand where Bitcoin is and where Bitcoin is not, but then also to understand all these areas where people are working on and people trying to improve Bitcoin. And I think at the moment, not only from a network perspective, from a kind of adoption perspective, but really from a technical perspective, Bitcoin is actually not really far behind many other projects. So just kind of keep this in mind in your investment analysis when you invest into other projects. And I think that's really key in all of that. Let me know if I forgot something. Let me know if you think one of the criticisms is not being addressed at Bitcoin. If you feel that there's certain parts where Bitcoin is really missing out, where other projects and altcoins really have a head start, would be always interesting for me, especially as a crypto speculator, to kind of check this out and look at the facts there. Yeah, and if you want to have this PDF, I'll be sending it out to everyone who's signed up for the newsletter for YouTube. It's down below, so you can go to YouTube, iunlimited.de/YouTube-en, and we'll send out this PDF so that you can kind of check this out yourself if you want to. Yeah, with this, I hope you're getting value out of this, wherever you're watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click the thumbs up and click subscribe. If you're on Twitter, retweet and click the heart button. If you're watching on Facebook, please like. If you're listening to the podcast, leave me a review. This is really, really important on the podcast, guys. And yeah, I hope you share this and spread the word, and on LinkedIn, the same story. We're doing like 2 to 3 videos a week, some live, some recorded. So yeah, I hope you're getting some massive value out of this and you're having a lot of fun. With this, I wish you a really happy new year. On the English channel, it's the very first time I'm actually doing a live on the English channel in this new year. So I hope you're having an awesome new year. I'm really, really excited for 2020. And with this, see you at the next video. Thank you so much. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.